Right, I am on OBS, even though OBS sucks at the moment for me. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Right, it's working. Okay, so what an afternoon it's been. I jumped on, went to do my usual stream. I'm using a browser-based stream. Let me just turn that down. And what happened was that's the streaming platform just was not working. So I was struggling to get that going while still into a trade. And this is the first trade I took, my usual break trade, and hit my take profit. I moved my break to my stop to break even. It went and it just kept flying, right? Hit my take profit, but in MT5 it didn't close. So I was like, hold on, what the hell's happening now, you know? Let me just close this 1 second. So I'll show you quickly. So I opened my trade there. It should have closed about up here somewhere, right? It went right through my take profit, did not close, nothing was happening. It just froze to the point that I literally was about to contact the 5% and say, what the hell's going on? And I thought, okay, hold on, did I miss news or something like that? Hold on, can you see that screen? Let me just check quickly. Let me just double check you can see that screen. Let me go to OBS. Let me just app window. I think this has got to be, this is the application. That's why. Okay. Let me go to screen, trading screen. So I think this is going to be display capture. Yeah. Okay. Right. Hold on. I'm on. Right, let me go back to this, and I think we should be able to see that. Let me just confirm, then I'll explain exactly what happened. Okay, there. So we are working now. Perfect. So what happened is we opened here. We went to, this candle started moving up. I moved my stop to break even. It flew through my take profit and it didn't close. It just stayed there. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Everything froze. And I was like, did I miss? Was there news that I'd missed? Had something happened? So I wasn't too sure exactly what was happening. And I was about to contact them. I actually started recording my screen to show that it wasn't closing. I tried to close it, nothing was happening, and then all of a sudden it closed. But to my surprise, sometimes these things work in your favor. Instead of $750, it closed at $1,139. So nice little bonus there. What a day that has been. I'm going to keep trading. I'm going to see if I can kind of push this even further. So I'm going to trade my 3 trades as I always do. See if I can take out a little bit more. Because I've essentially given myself some room to breathe now. So I'm going to see how this goes. Yesterday, I didn't come on to live again because I had some issues with that same platform I'm using. It's been useless. So I'm jumping onto OBS. I think if I am going to use OBS, I'm going to have to jump onto my laptop because I think the processing power on that will be better for OBS. Then what I can do is I can have the stream up on my iMac while you guys are on the laptop and the stream happens on the laptop. So I've got to set that up. But for now, I think my camera is going to be a little bit laggy. It's going to be delayed. But we're going to have to just work with it. We just got to roll with it. So yeah, yesterday I made $500. Let me just show you guys what that looks like on, yeah, 1 second. If I open up the 5%ers for you guys. Yesterday, I lost my first trade, broke even on my second, and then I actually hit a really good 1 to, I think it was 1 to, or almost 2, a little over 2, 1 to 2.2. So hit a 1,200 yesterday. This morning, the first trade hit 1,100 like I showed you. Let me just keep an eye on this. This is close to actually going into a new trade. So let me just have a look. We might be entering a new trade here. So let me just get into this trade if I can, and then I'll carry on explaining where we are. So I'm pretty much back to kind of the starting point after a tough week. This has been a tough week. Started off this funded account, went up to, I think, about $1,000 in profit. And then this week, I kind of had 2 losing days to start. And then I had, I think, a break-even day, and then yesterday was my first day that I actually came back and got $500 profit. So I actually have hit 2 of my days profit so far. You're meant to take 3 days that you get $500 or more. So that was my goal, is just to hit those 500 days, 500 days, and then I can kind of just carry on trading. But it was a rough week. Trading my strategy, I have been kind of going against the grain, and that's how it goes, right? So, what can you do? So I'm hoping now we have a turnaround. We have I'm looking for about $3,000 to $4,000 in profit. If I can push all the way to $5, that's going to be my goal. And then I will basically be pushing for that payout, which will be about 4,000. And then I'm going to use that money to kind of start scaling a little bit. So you guys might see me taking a few more challenges. I'm going to look at going a lot more aggressive with the challenges because I've got something really cool I want to show you guys, how to actually work out what you need to be trading, what you need to be doing with prop firms. I've got a whole simulator that I've built that I want to show you guys. So I'm going to do that. Let's see if we can get into a trade first. But yeah, it's really cool. It basically, you know, the only thing you need is you need to know your numbers on your strategy, right? What is your win rate and what is your risk reward? So whatever your risk reward ratio is, what is your win rate on that, and how many trades per day do you take? So for me, I know exactly what numbers I have, right? I take 3 trades a day. I have a risk reward of 1 to 1.5. And then I basically will be on funded accounts will be taking a 1%. You don't even need to know your risk because the simulator will tell you that. You just need to know your win rate and your risk reward, and then it gives you everything else. So I'm going to show you that. If you guys just stick around for a bit, I'll show you all of that. So let's just see if we actually get into a trade here. So obviously I'll be looking at, yeah, I'm going to have to switch PCs because this one is extremely laggy at the moment. Been really difficult to trade and stream on this one. I think this is just an old iMac, too much on it, and it just, yeah, it just takes too long. So I'll show you the week so far. Let me go through. Yeah, I think we can do this over here. I don't know if it shows you this in like calendar view. I don't think you can get the calendar view on this. So you can see we started well, win, 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 and then we went loss, loss. I think it was break even, loss, small win, loss, win, and then we had 2 losses yesterday or the day before, I think. No, probably even more than that. Loss, loss, and then yesterday we went win and win. So yesterday's total was actually 500 for the day. 20, oh no, sorry, we went the other way around. Going the other way around. So we had these losses, and then we had that small, this was the break even day. So the last 3 days have actually been all right. We've had break even, big day, big day. So we've had a good comeback, and you can see that on the chart here. We had a good start, went up to just over $1,000, and then we had this kind of like, you know, real kind of losing streak where we were trading against the grain, swimming upstream, which is never a good idea. But, you know, all I can do is trade my strategy. That's all I can do, right? So that's what I stick to. Keep doing that, and you've got to know your numbers, right? You got to just keep playing your numbers, and that's what that simulator is. I said to you guys, I'm going to show you a simulator that I've actually built that I want to show you guys. I've actually built it for another company, so I can show you guys, but I can't really give you access to it right now because this is going to be accessible through another company. So, but I can show you how it works, and it's pretty cool because it gives you all your numbers, and once you have those numbers, let me see if I can bring it up quickly. Go new, had it open earlier, so let me just see if I can bring it. It's probably going to lag the heck out of this. Where is it? Earlier today. This is it. Okay. Let me show you what this looks like, guys. So essentially what you need is, like I said, your win rate, your risk reward ratio, and roughly how many trades per day you take, right? And then it's going to analyze your strategy. So for me, I'm roughly at about a 50% win rate. That's my risk reward. 3 trades is exactly what I take every single day. Then you say analyze your strategy, and not only is it going to analyze, you know, basically your win rate. Now, don't look at the funded rate, because in real markets, you're never going to get 100%. I mean, I would love that. But the cool thing here is it actually gives you the best fit for your strategy. Now, I've specifically put in the prop firms that I like. This is not every single prop firm. So it tells me that my best fit is actually funding pips on the 1-step flex. It'll take me on average about 18 days to get funded. And then here you can actually see what the breakdown is, right? So it tells you what all their profit targets are, their max drawdown, their daily drawdown, and then what's your best risk for that, right? And what your funded rate should be based on your numbers. So it's really cool. So you can see exactly how all of this, you know, can give you some really cool numbers. But then the cool thing about this, even more than that, is don't look at this too much, right? Is you can actually run a year of numbers, right? So you can actually do this on any of the prop firms as well. So let's say I want to do with a 5% as high stake. I can click that. I want to take 5% profit, and I can work out my numbers. Now I'm pretty sure that the stream is lagging, and I know that, guys. I am going to work on that, but this is all I've got to work with now. Otherwise, this would not have worked. But anyway, work out your numbers, and this is basically what you could make on the numbers you have, right? So if you have a rough guide on what your funded rate is, I mean, this it reckons that I would get 26.5 payouts over the year. I could get my value per funded account. I can essentially make 105,000, but you've got to take that with a pinch of salt, right? And then you can actually run these numbers on a full year's worth of data. Which is pretty cool. I'm not going to do that now because it's lagging the hell out of the stream. So that's what it looks like. It shows you the whole breakdown, which is pretty cool, right? When I've got a better connection going and everything is connecting properly, then we can actually go through that simulator a little bit better as well. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm actually going to cut the camera for now, just because I think there's no point having the camera on right now. So I'm going to just hide the cam and the border. All right. So I think that should be better, because there's no point having the camera on, because to be honest, it's just lagging like crazy. I am going to try and sort this out. Like I said, I'm going to try and set the live trades up on my other computer and see how that goes, because I know it's not nice to watch when you guys are just seeing, you know, lagging all the time. But to recap what's happened today, let me go over everything again. So started my usual three trades a day is what I take. Currently on a funded account. It's been a tough week, but I have made a very good comeback. Now you can see I took my first trade over here, my usual 1 to 1.5, and sorry, what ended up happening is 5% has actually kind of lagged out, and I couldn't take the trade. I couldn't close the trade. I had my stop in place. I had my take profit in place, and I basically went to break even as soon as we hit about a 1 to 1.2, I would say. I was looking for a 1 to 1.5, which was 750 against the 500 that I was risking. It went right through my take profit. I'm going to show you here, because you can see on this chart where that should have closed. Let me show you what that looks like on... let me just close this, because there's too much open at the moment. I think that's why it's lagging. Anything else open? No. All right. So let me show you. Yeah, I should have closed about there, and it just completely lagged. It completely, you know, I couldn't do anything. And essentially it just kept going up, which is amazing. I saw the big numbers, and I carried on clicking the close down here, but it would not close. And then I was about to contact the 5%ers, and then all of a sudden it came back, everything was live, and my position had actually closed. And instead of the 750, you can see here that it actually closed a little bit higher. So sometimes these things work in your favor, but man, if that happens and you're in the negative, it can be very scary. So that's where we currently stand. Price is pushing down a lot right now. So I'm going to just see if I can get into another trade. Hopefully we can. Now, I do think we're going to be pushing down to yesterday's fair price. You can see there. So that's where I think we're pushing down to, because we never actually got back to it. Yesterday, I did have a good final trade. Now, yesterday I didn't stream, guys. So, unfortunately, I couldn't get the streaming platform that I use to work. Today was a nightmare getting started as well. That's why I'm on what is it called? OBS. Really struggling with the streams at the moment. It could be where I'm located and my connection. I've got a pretty good internet connection. I think it's like a 200 Mbps up and down, which should be more than enough to stream with. But the problem is that it's very intermittent. You don't always have that constant speed. So that's where the issue comes. So let's see what happens with price. We're going to see if we can get into 2 more trades. Like I've said in my previous streams, guys, 11 o'clock is my cutoff. I won't trade anything past 11. So hopefully we can get another 2 trades in. And if I can get 2 more winners, we could potentially be closing today with about 2,500 profit, which will be a phenomenal day. But I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. Let's just see how things go, right? Now, another thing I want to show you guys is I've been doing a lot of back testing with this exact strategy. So let me just show you what that looks like. FX replay. This is the one over here. Man, when I am streaming, it slows everything down so much. I need to get a much better setup. So hopefully we can get a few big wins, get a big payout, and buy a new setup. Whoa, that looks funky. Why is it like that? fxreplay.com. Hold on, I'm on a stream. No, not tonight. Can you just come close my door, please? All right, let's get into this quickly. I want to show you guys what I have been doing. So I'm doing a lot of back testing based on the strategy I'm using, and it's giving me my numbers that I showed on that simulator. So that's so that essentially is what you need to do. You need to get your numbers, know exactly what your pass rate is, or not your pass rate, sorry, your win rate on your specific strategy, and then get an idea of exactly how many trades a day you will take when you're trading prop firms, right? Because this is an important number to know, right? So you can see I've done 4 back tests all on different time slots. So this one, the last one I did was, where are we? The 3rd of May, starting the 3rd of May. Finished that pretty quickly. Actually hit my profit target pretty quickly. The one before that was the 5th of October last year. Then I did the 7th of September last year. And then I did a 3rd of May this year. So that's probably the same starting, so similar. So to give you an idea of what this looks like, so each of them I'll quickly go through the analytics for you. If we can actually get into it, man, it's so slow. Oh, it's not going in, to be honest. There we go. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like. So this is kind of the average, kind of curve that I have. And if you look at my 5%ers right now, it looks somewhat similar to that. So it's always good that your back test and your live has a similar shape to it when you're looking at that, the equity curve. So it took me 28 trades to get to the 10%. This is a 10% that I look for. The cool thing about FX replay is you can actually trade prop firms, right? You can actually specifically set your target, what you're targeting, what your daily loss is, and what your max drawdown is. and then you're essentially taking a prop firm challenge. So this is what that looked like. I hit a 57. Okay, this is reloading. Let me just wait for that to reload. But basically, it was a 57% win rate, which is a little bit higher than I would say I'd normally get. Let's just make sure we are not missing a trade over here. No, not yet. So this is still pushing down quite a lot. So we're in one trade. We are currently sitting at, I think it's about 1% for the day. We made $1,000 on the first trade, which is actually quite a lucky one because, like I said to you, it should have only been 750. I risked 500 to make 750 on this funded account. And essentially what happened is as soon as I got to my profit target, I'd already pulled my stop to break even. But I flew through my profit target, but it didn't close. The 5%ers didn't close my position. I'll show you quickly on MT5. So you can see this is where I opened. I should have closed around here somewhere, and it just didn't close. I had my take profit in position, and it just kept flying up, which is cool because, you know, I was making money. But I actually was about to contact their support and say, what the hell's going on? Because I knew there wasn't any red folder news. So I was like, I thought maybe I'd missed something. Had I accidentally gone in and there's news? Because I know with the 5%ers, they don't count your trade if you're I think it's 2 or 5 minutes before and after news. So I was like, oh shit, man. Have I actually, you know, not seen something that is actually there? But anyway, it was just completely frozen. It did not budge. And I was flying over $1,000 and I was like, okay, cool. If it closes now, but then it started retracting, went all the way to break even. And at that point I was like, okay, now I'm going to lose money because this has happened. But luckily I was actually recording my screen just to prove to the 5%ers that, you know, that is what happened. But then anyway, I'll show you what happened. Ended up closing on 1,139 profit. So I ended up, you know, taking a little bit more than I was hoping because of the whatever issue that was. So, you know, sometimes these things happen and it can screw you. Other times it happens and it actually can, you know, benefit you. And that was one of those cases. So yesterday I closed with a nice trade on 1,245. I pushed for a much larger take profit. So my first trade was a loss. My second trade was essentially break even, and my third was 1,245. So good day. I hit my my 500 because I've got to do 500 3 times to basically make sure I'm sticking within their rules. Let me go to the 5%ers and I'll show. Okay, it's not open right now. But yeah, so this is what I'm looking at. So this is exactly how I am trading these prop firms essentially, right? And this is kind of the cool thing to see is that the days that I am going through losers, like there are 2 losers in a row, kind of looks somewhat similar to how my losing week looked this week, right? I wish the 5%ers had a calendar like this. I wish I could see my days like this on the 5%ers, but they don't do that. So, you know, it is what it is. But if I go back to the dashboard and I actually show you the analytics on the strategy itself, I think I have about a 52% win rate, which is exactly what I'm looking for, right? That's perfect for what I'm looking for. I just want to make sure that all of these are actually set to that strategy. So let me just check. Yeah, this one isn't actually. So let me just make sure that is. All right, now the cool thing is I can actually go and go to strategies. Let me just make sure we're not missing anything here. We potentially are coming into a trade, guys. So I'm going to just go to there. And if we do break that high, I'm going to enter for a long. Let me just keep an eye on this before I carry on explaining my strategy. Okay, let's just go. We might be getting into a trade here. Gonna wait for the candle to close. Don't go in prematurely because of that exact reason. All right, we're in. Trade number 2. All right, let's see how this goes. Hope we don't pull down and break into there, because that'll take $500 of my current win. Let me just mark this on the chart as well so we know where we're at. We're on a long. Man, this is so laggy. The template is actually a 1 to 5 like that. I'm going to just close this now because this is so laggy. But anyway, 52.4% win rate over the 4 challenges I've taken on this, which is pretty good. Can I close Safari? I think I can. All right, let's have a look at what this trade looks like. Let's hope it can go in my favor. Ooh, we did come pretty close to getting stopped out there. But that's a nice looking candle, to be honest. I go break even at a 1 to 1. So let's hope we can hit that 1 to 1. Oh man, it's pushing down now. Okay, this is pushing up now, so I could potentially get to my break even at least. As soon as we hit a 1 to 1, I'm going to go break even. Oh man, a lot of volume coming in there. Pushing down. Come on. Let's reject that. Push it up. think if we do end up losing this trade, I'm going to call it for the day just because I'm going to stick to keeping my $500 so I can get my final day of getting the 500 profit, because I needed 3 days of 500, and today will be my final day of actually hitting that. So that'll be good. If we can actually break these highs now, if we can actually push past these highs now, I'm pretty confident that this trade could potentially go in our favor, should I say. It was a nice rejection off that that last candle, the wick, but you know, you never know. Oh man. Yes, Abdallah. Okay, 1 second, I'm coming. Ben, could you open for Abdallah? I don't know why it's closed. But he can't come in. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this looks like it could be a good candle, but we just got to see if we can actually push higher. If we can break that high, I'm going to feel really good about this trade. We just got to break it. Come on, just pop your head above there. Pop your head above. There we go. I should be able to get to a 1-2-1, hopefully. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to just bring this to break even. Come on, don't come back now. Don't come back now. Come on. Up you go. You know you want to. Up you go. There we go. I know you want to. Come on. Just cross the finish line for me. Come on, across you go. Don't you dare come back now. That's it. You know where it is. Go and sniff that red line. Go and sniff that red line. Go on. Go on. Go on, son. Come on, be a good boy. Be a good boy and do it. Sniff it. Yes, please. Let's go. All right, what a day it has been, guys. Finally back up above 100. We could technically actually take a payout right now if we wanted to. Not going to do that. I'm going to keep pushing. But what a day it's been. So 758 on the second trade, 1,139 on the first trade. So a total of about, what is that? 800, close to 1,900, close to 1,900. So pretty good day. I'm not going to actually take my third trade because I think it's a, Friday. I don't really want to kind of push my luck. It's been a phenomenal day. I've made, oh wow, look at that, turned around exactly where I had my profit. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Perfect. We hit our take profit. It was a little bit scary there. We came down, we danced around the initial kind of entry there for a while. But you got to trust the trades, you got to trust your setups, and you just got to stick to it, right? Was a little bit lucky today, like I said, with the, let me go back to the 5%ers. Can I open it? Yeah, let's have a look what we look like now. So I am going to try and sort out the stream. I know it's very laggy at the moment. Doing my best, but I will try and sort it out. I think I'm going to have to stream on the laptop. So the cool thing now is we've actually hit our 3 positive days, our profitable days. It's not showing up yet because the day is not finished, but I have hit it because I'm not going to trade again today. So what a comeback day that is. Look at that. Pretty good. Yeah, I am happy with that. So we are currently sitting at is that correct? It says payout profit of that much, but I don't know if that's correct. Recognized profit. I'm not too sure because I think this is the profit excluding my little extra. So because I passed my challenges, I basically got a little 15% kick in the profit I made. So that's why there's a discrepancy between close balance and equity, right? So my current P&L is 811. Yeah, so I can actually withdraw 811 now if I wanted to, which, wouldn't be a bad play because then that would mean that I've got my buy-in for the challenge back, and this is essentially a house account. It's house money, because at that point I've spent nothing on this account, which is kind of what you should always be looking for, right? But like I said, I'm going to keep pushing this one. I want to push it to at least 3 to 4 grand, and then maybe I will take my payout. But what a day, much better day, comeback time. You'll see over here. Let me show you what this looks like. So this was our comeback. We had some losing days. We had 2 losing days in a row. But then we've had a great comeback. We had that break even. Don't look at that. So we had a loss yesterday, a break even, and then we had a good win where I let it run. I don't normally do that, but I just wanted to. I knew it was a good trade, and I knew we had the chance, and I was already in break even. So I was like, you know what, I might as well just push it. So instead of the 750, I pushed to 1,250 is what I had, but it closed a little bit earlier than I was hoping. My first trade today, 1,139. Like I said, it was an absolute, not a lucky trade. The trade was good, but my MT5 completely spazzed out. It went right past my take profit. The account didn't close. 5% as I don't know what is happening, but MT5 did not close the trade at my take profit, which was 750. And then it actually started turning around, and I started going to negative, and the trade was still open. So I was like, oh shit, we've gone from a potential 750 win to it could be enough if it doesn't actually stop now, enough to actually blow my account. So we ended up getting the 1,139 when it finally closed. So that was actually a nice little bonus, to be honest. And then second trade, which is the one you guys would have just seen now, we hit the 750, which is our target. I normally take 3 trades, but it is Friday. I've had a lucky day. I had that lucky first trade, got a second win, 2 wins in a row. It's been a fantastic comeback day. Let's have a look at my win rate. Win rate sitting at 56%. Now, if you guys saw my FX replay, where I've taken 4 challenges on FX replay, all 4 of them are sitting around the 55% win rate. So, to see that is kind of where I'm sitting now after, I don't know how many trades I've taken, to be honest. I can count quickly. 18 trades. It's kind of where I want to be. So, if your numbers are looking the same on a live account, on a real account, as they are on your back-tested stuff, that's always a good thing. So, yeah, really cool to see. You guys would have also seen that simulator that I have built, which gives you the best prop firms to trade with based on your strategy, based on your win rate. And it gives you you can do a full year's simulation to see, how that might look for you. So mine actually looks really good. If I can stick to a 55% win rate with a 1 to 1.5, taking 3 trades a day, my simulator reckons that I can go 100% funded rate. Now, I know that is completely, bonkers and probably won't happen, but even if I take off 20 or 30% or even 40% of that, a 60% funded rate, I will still take that. That means for every 10 challenges I take, I can potentially get 5 to 6 funded accounts. Yeah, I'll take that all day long. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream there. It was a hectic stream. I couldn't get on first. Finally got on, had to use OBS. My OBS sucks at the moment. Well, I think it's my PC or my iMac that sucks. So I'm going to try and set everything up on the other computer, the laptop, which should be better. And then I'll do my trades from there, and I'll see if I can, keep everything else, the chat and everything, on my iMac. So that might be a better way to set up the trading. And I'm going to use my phone's camera rather than the camera I've got set up now, because I think it uses too much. It eats too much of the CPU. So we'll get this sorted out. I know it's been a really laggy stream, and I know that's awful to watch, and I'm sorry, but we are going to get better. We're going to get a better setup. We're going to get it sorted out. So next week we hit play again. 811 is my current profit. And I think when today is over, there should be 3 out of 3. So my profitable days will be checked. I can then make my withdrawal. I'm not going to take the withdrawal. I'm going to see if I can push to like I said, about between 3 and 5,000 before I actually take a payout, because then I'm going to be able to build myself a nice little, bucket of cash that I can start really pushing, because I'm going to go quite aggressive on these challenges, because now I have my numbers, I have everything in place, and I think I'm going to start pushing on this. So if you guys want to join me next week, you're more than welcome. But yeah, that's it for me. I will see you guys in the next live session, which will be on Monday. Alrighty. Bye for now.